Welcome back to the channel, because this might be one of the most interesting luxury SUVs coming from America. The 2027 Lincoln Navigator doesn't look like it's trying to chase every European SUV on the road. Instead, it seems to be taking a different approach. Bigger presence, a quieter personality, and an interior that looks less like a family SUV and more like a private lounge on wheels. But here's the interesting part. The feature that could make this Navigator special isn't sitting on the outside at all. It's waiting behind those doors. And once you see the second row, you might understand exactly what Lincoln is trying to do. From the front, the Navigator immediately brings that unmistakable American luxury attitude. The massive chrome grille dominates the face, with the Lincoln emblem sitting right in the center like a piece of jewelry. The headlights are slim, detailed, and stretched horizontally, giving the SUV a more sophisticated expression instead of an overly aggressive one. The tall hood, upright body, huge glass area, and large multi-spoke wheels make it clear that this isn't trying to be a small luxury crossover. This thing wants road presence. And when you move around to the back, the design gets even cleaner. A full-width lighting signature stretches across the tailgate, while the widely spaced Lincoln lettering gives the rear a premium, almost executive appearance. Even the dual exhaust outlets add a little reminder that underneath all this luxury, there is still a serious SUV, but don't get too comfortable with the exterior. Because the real story begins when you open the door. Step inside, and the entire personality changes. The black exterior gives way to a bright white cabin filled with quilted leather, wood-style trim, metallic details, and a huge panoramic glass roof. The dashboard has a clean horizontal layout, while the digital displays keep the technology visible without making the cabin look like a spaceship. And then there's the steering wheel, center console, and those carefully finished door panels. Everything is designed around one idea: make the driver feel like they are sitting somewhere expensive without making them work for it. But here's where the Navigator gets really interesting. Look at the rear cabin. Those second-row seats aren't simply there to carry passengers. They look designed for people who actually want to stay back there. Separate captain's chairs, massive legroom, individual controls, premium trim, and screens built into the seatbacks turn the second row into its own little environment. Imagine sitting back here on a 4-hour road trip. You aren't just surviving the journey anymore. You're basically checking into a moving lounge. And that leads to the question, what is Lincoln really building here? Because the Navigator isn't competing only on size. It's competing on atmosphere. The enormous cabin, bright materials, panoramic roof, comfortable seating, and carefully layered details suggest that Lincoln understands something important about American luxury. Sometimes the most impressive feature is simply how relaxed the vehicle makes you feel. And there is another detail you shouldn't overlook. Look at the proportions. This is a large SUV with the kind of commanding seating position American buyers love. But the design doesn't rely entirely on brute force styling. The body remains smooth and relatively clean, while the chrome elements give it that classic Lincoln identity. It feels more like a luxury residence than a traditional truck-based machine. Of course, the final 2027 Navigator could bring changes to powertrain, technology, driver assistance, and pricing. So those details should be confirmed when Lincoln officially reveals the production vehicle. But based on these visuals, one thing is already clear. Lincoln isn't trying to make the Navigator louder. It's trying to make it more desirable. And that's a very different strategy. Instead of asking, how aggressive can a luxury SUV look? The Navigator seems to be asking, how good can it feel to spend your entire day inside one? That's where this SUV could have its biggest advantage. Because when you combine the massive American presence outside with a lounge-like cabin inside, the Navigator starts to feel less like another luxury SUV and more like Lincoln's own definition of first-class travel. So, would you take this over a Cadillac Escalade, a Mercedes GLS, or a BMW X7? And here's the real question. Is the new Navigator finally becoming America's answer to the world's most expensive luxury SUV? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoy seeing future cars beyond the usual launch hype, hit that like button. subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.